and welcome. And our hair is great.
Yep.
I have it's a little less now, but I had a very like Wolverine kind of style.
Yeah, no, it's getting long again.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, it's getting long, I say, sitting here with this hair, but
yes.
It's getting longer than it was. Did you know that?
Huh.
Hair grows.
Huh.
Yeah.
How is everyone doing? How are you doing? Okay.
I'm fine. I am not super excited about this story, but I am here. Yeah, that's my contribution. I am here.
Yes, that's good.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I started my computer 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. I've been sitting here for like 3 minutes.
Yes.
So, just saying.
Yes. But yeah, hello Moon and hello Violet.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes.
I'm confused by our document, but maybe you're not, so.
I am probably confused about our document.
Okay, good. Great.
I haven't looked at it yet, so that's confusing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and Moon is great. I'm glad to hear it. My kids are going to be botherish, but I'm trying to keep them busy so I can focus on this. That's good.
Sounds good.
Yes.
We don't have our document with no questions. Yes, we don't have our document with questions.
Yes, we did.
Where?
It's called check-in streams nowadays.
Cool, but that doesn't have anything for today.
It does not, no.
No, okay.
But
Then we have a document.
Could.
What is my hair doing?
Doing great.
You wrote things down for this stream.
I did?
Yeah. I saw you type up things we want to talk about in the stream, and it was Liv's side, and it was the revision. Maybe that was in your notes for your video?
Yeah, I don't think I've written in this.
Well, you wrote something somewhere at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is indeed something that I am guilty of.
Yes. Good. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yes, we are here to talk about the project that we've been working on since February, which is a long time.
Yes.
And yeah, what we're planning to do now, how to fix it, how to make me excited about it again.
Yes.
And so on.
Yes. And we both said in our update videos that we want to talk about revision. We also have a huge fly that's terrorizing us. Yes. So. It's
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, we want to talk about revision, and I don't know. Do you want to talk about how you're feeling about Lid's side of the story?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's that and revision at least, and I think we also both said in our stream or in our update videos that we are. Our new goal is to be done with the second draft of the first half by New Year's.
Yeah.
So we have approximately 3 months to do it.
Yeah. I did realize that when we said end of the year, we didn't say was it actually New Year's or was it at the last stream of the year?
Fair. And looking ahead in a calendar, the last stream will be on the 25th of December.
No, we decided we're going to have it on the 18th of December because we figured that maybe the 25th of December people are busy.
People don't want to hang out with us?
Well, people live in weird countries where they celebrate Christmas on the 25th and not the 24th.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, fake fans. Of Christmas, not of us.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, true. We did move that to the 18th. I mean, it would be good to be done with the story by the 18th, then it takes like a Christmas break from it.
Yeah.
But that gives us 2.5 months.
Yes.
We can aim for that.
Yeah.
And then see how we feel.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yes.
Yes.
And Moon is making a good point that it's not swearing if you're talking about actual donkeys. I don't know if there are donkeys.
There are shapeshifters.
Yes.
So by extension, there could be donkeys.
Yeah. It's a long donkey time.
True. Yes. I also didn't say that in my update video because I didn't actually know that when I filmed. But my work life is changing. Starting in November, I start commuting again.
Yay!
Yay! Meaning that I will lose a lot of time that I currently don't spend on my story anyway. But I will be commuting 3 days a week, 2 hours each way, so 4 hours a day, so 12 hours a week.
Yeah.
Which is time that I would normally have at home. And that sucks.
Yes.
If I'm being honest. But that is something that will also affect my my ability to work on this, because I'm not going to write this when I'm commuting.
No.
And my energy and motivation and stuff when I'm actually home and when I have time.
Yeah.
And mixing that in with all my other hobbies. See, also crochet. So
Yes.
we will see. But hopefully I can still get done with this thing by the 18th or by the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think even with that that deadline, like, it's possible to make it work.
It is possible.
It also,
I mean, it would require dedication, but I haven't been written.
You haven't been written?
I haven't been written yet.
I am so sorry.
No one's been writing me. I haven't been writing since I finished this draft in July? June? Yeah, a while ago. I haven't really written anything. I wrote 2,500 words for July, and that's it. So I need to get back into the wagon, back on the wagon, back in the saddle, something.
Witches.
Something witches, yes.
Yes.
And actually write in general.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine.
Yeah. You are a blank page.
Thank you.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, that's some updates. I know that Moon, you've seen our videos. I don't know if Violet has.
I'm just going to assume that everyone
who's here better have seen the videos.
You should have seen the videos. We make the videos so that you will be updated before we do this, so we don't have to say the same thing again. So if you haven't, that's your problem.
My problem?
No.
Their problem.
Their problem.
Okay.
Over there. And over there. I actually have them on both sides.
Okay.
I am surrounded by them.
Oh no! They're ganging up on you. Yes. But let's get started and then finish. The two sides to the story is getting started and finishing.
Yes. What about the middle? The
No.
middle is pretty important.
You don't need it. No.
Oh, okay.
You need the beginning and the end.
Cool.
If you make the beginning long enough and the end long enough, you don't need much of a middle.
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
do we start with
Yes.
Lid's side of the story?
Sure. Should you share your screen?
I am sharing my screen. You're just not seeing it.
Because you're not actually sharing it all the way.
I am sharing it everywhere.
Oh, that's more than I signed up for. But yes, Lid's side of the story. I don't know if that is the problem I'm having with the story, that I'm not finding her side interesting.
No.
Or if it's the writing, or if it's that I've spent too much time on the story compared to what I usually do when I'm sick of it.
No.
I don't know what the problem is, but I do feel like there was a lot of plotting we did, plotting / these streams when we came up with new ideas that involved Niam, and he got to go on a lot of adventures and do things and figure things out.
Yeah.
And Lid kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
And they don't have to have the same kind of storylines either. But it felt a little bit like they're just... I don't mind that they're different, but I mind that Lid's feels boring to me.
Yeah, I've thought of that a little bit, and I'm wondering if Lid doesn't get to
Act.
Yeah, she's reacting to
Yeah.
a lot of things, but she's not being very active.
Yeah, Lid is not very active in anything. I was gonna say she was active in actually leaving to go on the quest, but she's not. She doesn't have a choice. You know?
No, I mean, that's also a reaction to this thing happening to her.
Yeah, and then Tev decides to come with, so he's being active. She's not asking him.
No.
And then yeah, she just reacts to everything that happens. Sure, she has to be, present in her mind and like, oh, I need to solve this problem, this trial, this way.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have much of a choice. And then she ends up being shot down. Like, yeah, she's not very active.
No.
And that might very well be what I don't like.
Yeah.
Whereas Niam also doesn't have a choice with leaving and all that. But he actively seeks out his pen pal. He actively looks in the library or the archive.
Yeah.
He actively climbs up on a dragon. Like, he does a few more things.
Yeah.
But again, like I talked about in my video, all the things that do happen to her, all the things that does happen to her, like goes on quest, loses best friend, cuts ties to home, gets shot down, loses arm. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on that affects her and that makes, in theory, for an interesting story. But I don't feel very excited about it. I know when I reread it, I really liked the fire trial.
Yeah.
The way that was written, I really liked. You haven't seen that, Marcus, but I have told you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Where she starts hallucinating and she sees Tev and she sees her parents and she sees so many things, and like she sees things happening to these people. And that's really cool. And at least from the first reread of it, I was like, okay, this is good. I like this. But I can't base the entirety of her side of the story around the fire trial being exciting.
No.
Also glad we're cracking you up, Moon. Very happy to hear it. What do I love about Liv's story? Focus on that and add things you love. The fire trial?
Well, like, more fire trials then.
I suppose. More fires. She's just putting out little fires everywhere. No, but I don't know, because she meets a fair few people, which I'm not thinking that will stay in the second draft, because it was just like, oh, I need someone to have this conversation with. Ooh, a random person appeared. Sort of. So I'll change that. But she meets a fair few people. She also loses all her supplies like 4 times, and I hate it. I like the fire trial. I like the thing I talked about periods playing a part, and her sort of tracking time like that, and that adding pressure when she gets her second period and being like, oh, I'm running out of time. Stuff like that. Yeah, I like her interactions with Nier, the archivist. I think they have a good rapport. Is that what it's called?
I think that.
What do you like? Periods? Actually not, but we'll talk about that another time. Yeah, so I like that. I do actually like a lot of things that happen to her with her in Norport.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha! You're so funny.
I am super funny.
You are so funny. I do like a lot of things that happen to her in Norport. In a way, we see her quite active there, but it's still things happening to her. Like, she's like, okay, I should go buy supplies so I can survive going up north where it's cold. But then she gets pickpocketed. So something happens to her. And then she seeks asylum is the wrong word, but like she finds a church to go into for just a meal and some relaxation. But then when she's there, she gets sold out. And then she gets shot down. Like, I like a lot of things that happen in that city, but it's also, I don't know, it feels like kind of the first time after she loses Tev, which happens a fair bit earlier, that we see her try to take control and try to make decisions and try to, I gotta do this. Which, like, a sort of a turning point for her of like, no, but I actively have to do. stuff.
Yeah.
Until then, she's sort of been surviving, and then she starts living, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No.
So I like that.
Yeah.
But I don't like a lot of things before then, apart from the fire trial, maybe. I quite like... The thing is also with the trials, like, I like the metal trial, but I don't feel like I did it justice. Inferno Valley is just one big... Everything happens at once. It's fairly good apart from the ground part, because she does plant fire ground. And the ground part is just like, oh, I just put this plant in the ground and left it and whatever. Can't be carrying this around anymore. I'm going to put it down. You know, her air trial is absolute stupidity. Her electricity trial will now be changing and be, so that good, because it's almost even worse than the air trial. And the water trial I haven't written. And that's them, right? Metal, Inferno Valley, air, electricity, water.
Yeah.
That's 7. Yeah. We did also talk way back when we did talk about are all of the trials going to be in the story or in the book, but I still feel like I want to write them all.
Yeah.
And then we'll just decide which are better than the others.
Yeah.
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 Answering what about the fire trial made it so enjoyable? The writing, interestingly enough, since I didn't like the rest of it, because it was very, I don't want to say snappy, but it was very like a thought and this and that and this and like.
Yeah, it was fast paced.
Very fast paced and very fragmented. It wasn't like, oh, I need to pick this up and I need to defend myself. Because you can't really defend yourself against fire. But it was more like a thought, and then she's halfway doing that, and then something stops her, and then she's over there, and then like... Yeah. I actually really like that part. And there's a part of it where I don't remember exactly now, but she's, again, she keeps picturing, or hallucinating, rather, people. And so she sees Tev, who she thinks, like, he should be there. He's just run off, and now she's caught up to him. And she sees him, and then she sees him like catching fire, and she's terrified and screams. And then turning around, she sees her mom, and something happens to her. And then she turns and then she sees Tev again, but Tev is now not on fire. But like, it's just a lot of things, and it's not all the hallucinations are not due to the fire. Like, not everything she hallucinates has to do with the fire, but it happens around the same time. So it's both like, here are my family members and my best friend, and they're suffering and I should help them, but also everything around us is on fire. And the stress of it. When my little sister-in-law was in kindergarten, they taught her that a period at the end of a sentence is a stop dot, because you stop when you see the dot. Now the whole family refers to menstruation that way. Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Sure.
Was there anything particularly good about when you were writing it? Good mood, time of day, snacks, atmosphere?
I don't remember. I think that was part... No, that was not part of my 10K day. 15K day? What did I do?
15.
Did I do a 15K day?
I think you did, yeah.
Oh, cool. No, it was a 20K day.
Yes, it was.
Right?
Yes.
I did a 20K day. 20K in 10 hours or something?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. You don't have to look that up.
No, fair. But still, I'm better.
Okay, then. Yeah, no, but
20K
I think...
in 10 hours, yeah.
No, but this you
was
wrote this before that, yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I was just in the zone.
But if, like, without having written or without having read what you've written or how you've written it,
just thinking of the plot.
Thinking of the plot and thinking of these things, and like a little bit what you've said about the other things that you've written in this story. No, but I'm thinking that like the fast paced and the what you seem to like are things where things like actually happen
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the problems with what you've written so far is that it's maybe a bit slow, or maybe a little bit what I felt. I said on Thursday that I felt like when I was writing Arc, I had written 4 chapters of just talking.
Yeah.
And if it's something similar that's going on with you,
Sorry,
we'll take a break. It's fine.
I just want to text. Yes, could be, because also thinking of Norport, it's more. It's not as fast paced, obviously, as the fire trial, except I guess when she gets shot down, and is on the run. But it's things happening that actually matter to the story. A lot of it.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of things, including the air trial and including basically everything between the Inferno Valley and Norport, just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Like there's no real agency and there's no real urgency either.
Yeah.
And I also I have included a lot of side plots that have nothing to do with the story. That I was like, oh, but this could happen, and then I wrote that, and I'm like, doesn't actually add anything interesting to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what Moon is saying, one of the things I do first with overwhelming long manuscripts, even if I'm not sure the pacing is really a problem, is start cutting.
Mm-hmm.
That way the stuff happens faster, which makes it more exciting, and also the manuscript becomes less enormous to revise.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that because you've said that she loses her stuff 4 times.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like just cutting out 3 of those.
Yeah.
Could maybe be like, yeah. I'm wondering if maybe we're coming in a little bit on the revision part of the stream now, but if maybe one of the first things you should do is read through and remove things.
I mean, there are so many subplots that I could just when Tev and her gets to whatever that city's called on the West Coast. There's a whole subplot there too, even that never lead anywhere.
No.
And that don't add anything. And after Inferno Valley, there's another one that doesn't really have to be there because it doesn't really add anything.
No.
And I think I could cut a lot of that. I also hate my air trial. Absolutely hate it. Can't really cut that, but
well, we can change the air trial.
Yeah.
If the air trial, I mean, we could come up with something else that is her air trial.
Yeah, but I think removing a lot of unnecessary subplots is a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, are there things, I'm not saying I'm going to take things away from Niam, but are there things we could add to her side of the story that helps complete the puzzle?
Yeah.
Either things that we now have put on Niam, or no, but someone needs to find out this. Well, why don't we have Lid do that?
Yeah.
I mean, we did have that she was going to have the nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
She was going to know the correct version of that.
Yeah.
But that's not really something that'll play a big part until they're together anyway.
No.
So, yeah.
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 I think Moon said not even necessarily cutting content, but cutting words just a few at a time. There's a thing, and I think pretty sure this is from Writing Excuses, where they say basically cut 10%. Like if it's words, if it's scenes, if it's whatever, but make the manuscript 10% shorter. because
And mine's at 80, so that would bring it down to 72.
yeah, it doesn't have to be 10%.
No,
but like
but-
it's a thing that they've talked about, and I don't quite remember exactly now, but I think of it as a sort of, that's all the filling. That's all the things that like you put in there just because you needed words and you weren't sure what you were gonna do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I'm not saying that's bad. I'm a little bit hesitant to like read through it and do. I know what Moon said of a few words at a time,
yeah,
because I'm a little hesitant to spend time doing that and then cutting out filler words or cutting out like small things like that, and then ending up, oh, actually this whole chapter goes.
Yeah.
And then I've already spent time,
yeah,
tightening it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think in your case it's probably better to start by cutting whole scenes, since you already know that there are whole scenes that you should cut.
Yeah.
Might as well cut those and then see if it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I would also like to do, maybe not today, but I would also like to actually look at, because I took notes for each chapter, and there are 24, I think, something like that, chapters. And actually make like a bullet point list of big picture things in the right order. Like big picture things that I want to keep, at least.
Yeah.
Not necessarily chapter by chapter, but just like wakes up with powers, is told about quest, leaves, gets there.
Yeah.
Not, oh, and this is when they have the conversation about bees, but in grander detail as well. Because I don't know if I'm going to actually work out of the document I already have, or if I'm going to rewrite things completely and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moon loves the idea of having the critical piece of information that makes what Liam knows go from assorted bits of info into one piece of story.
Yeah, I do too. I think we're gonna have to really properly look into, because right now we don't really have details of what. I lost my train of thought.
Who knows what?
Yeah, we know what they need to come to know at the end, but we don't know how they get to that, or exactly which pieces of information each of them has. So that's maybe something that we need to look closer at.
Yeah, and it might turn out that Lid actually does know a lot of things.
Yeah.
But looking at the story, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, either my water bottle is angry at me or the fly is, and I don't know which one it is.
Cool. Yeah, she might end up having a lot of information, but looking at the plot, what I remember of it, as a bullet point list side by side, Liam has a lot more agency and a lot more go-getter about him than she does.
Yeah.
Which maybe makes sense because he semi-early on comes around to like, no, but I'd like to rule.
Yeah.
And she for a long, long time is like, nope, don't want to do it. Just doing this to survive.
Yeah.
But still, I don't want her to be meek and boring.
No. I have a thing to say there, but I also want to Moon saying, remember the thing when Bug used purple highlighter for things she loved or got positive feedback on? That maybe it would be motivating to make note of things you love and want to keep, or at least think have a lot of potential in your next read through. Potentially at the same time as this I'm gonna cut, but also this is good. So you don't get through that and like, there's so many things I'm gonna cut.
I cut 47% of the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't do this time around, but I usually do make a little notes. I don't highlight a lot of stuff when I rewrite or read my things, but I usually put like a little heart next to a line that I really liked. That's a good point. You said you had a little note on her being weak and boring.
Yeah, I was wondering, because I'm not sure if you have this already,
Mm-hmm.
but if there needs to be a moment somewhere, like a proper actual moment that here is where she decides that she wants to rule. Because I know that at some point she has gotten to where she has decided that, okay, yes, I do want to rule. But if something maybe relatively big needs to happen to make her feel that that this is something that's worth doing and not just something she does because she has to.
That's a good point. And there are things, yes, where was I going with that? I do think there is no, actually not. I was going to say, once she's lost Tev, she spends a long time feeling very lost and very small and very sad. But there is something that is like, no, but I need to keep going because Tev would not want me to give up. / I can't come back home and have lost Tev and have nothing to show for it. But I think it would also be good for her. I know I said I have a lot of random subplots I'm going to cut, but I think it could also be good for her to see hardship, see people in this country suffering. And especially if it's saying like, oh yeah, no, I got my hand cut off. Oh, why? No reason really. Like, it's like, I don't know, these stupid things, but just like, no, but that's not a just punishment for your crimes. Or, well, they can't just come into your place of work and take all your bread and leave and not pay you. Well, that's just the way the country's run, sort of thing. For her to be like, no, but actually, I could do this better. At what suffering?
Because that's something that I've been thinking too. I don't show enough how horrible the current ruler is.
No, you definitely should. But I think maybe Niam is kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Even if he maybe has been fortunate, apart from the fact that he's an orphan, he is used to it.
Yeah.
Whatever sort of things the guards or whatever else get up to, he's used to it.
Yeah.
Which makes you turn a blind eye a bit more, or just makes you not notice it.
Yeah.
In the same way that she will.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't been thinking that I'm gonna like have Niam always rage about how unjust things are. But I feel like I should have more like, oh yeah, and there are the 15 heads that are always on display of people that displease the ruler. Yeah, they smell bad.
How close are these heads?
I don't know.
Okay. Gross. Protagonists are often frustrating when they don't do what the reader wants them to, and it takes time for them to figure out what they're doing wrong, and then even more to figure out what to do. So maybe get her swept along as part of a problem, and at some point she realizes she has to make her own decisions. Good point. So even if she doesn't fix that right away, she becomes aware of it, so then she can decide to take action even before she knows what action to take.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Lid's mom, human mom, left the continent 20 years ago. Hasn't been back, doesn't care for it, doesn't care for her brother the ruler, doesn't like it. Although she has brought some traditions with her, but I can see why. Nope, not Niam, Tev. I always mix the two boys up. Tev has been going to the mainland a little bit to trade with his parent family, which means he has seen some stuff before.
Yeah.
Is it unthinkable to think that Lid is one part oblivious, I guess, but also doesn't really have reason to care about the mainland initially?
No.
Well, you threw my mom out, or maybe if she couldn't stay. you got yourself into this mess. It doesn't affect me because I don't live here. There.
Yeah.
You know? Or does that just make her very unlikable and very uncaring and very selfish?
I think maybe if, like...
I'm not thinking she'll get there and witness a beheading and be like, yeah, well, you had that coming. That's not what I mean.
Yeah. No, but I think it's entirely reasonable, maybe not to be like, yeah, I know they're suffering, but they deserve it. But more in the sense of it being very abstract for her.
Yeah.
And like, maybe she doesn't quite understand what suffering means.
No.
Because she's had a fairly privileged life. Because they don't really have all that much hardship.
No, it's very community and very you share, I share.
Yeah.
We're in this together sort of thing.
Yeah. And so, like, for her, when she hears suffering, it's like, oh yeah, when I was injured and in pain, or that winter when we actually had very little to eat, so I was always kind of hungry or never full. And then she comes to the mainland and realizes that,
oh, you're never full.
Yeah, and like, okay, you're actually starving to death. Okay, you are eating your shoes because that's all you have.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's when she realizes what suffering actually means, and then that's when she starts caring.
Yeah, and I mean, also since there hasn't been a lot of interaction with the mainland, her mom's never been back.
No.
She's never been. Tev, yes, he goes there to trade, but he goes there to trade. He stays a day or two and then he comes back. So he won't have seen a lot of things either. No,
and they always go to the same place that is fairly prosperous as well.
Yes, and a place on the west coast close-ish to the archipelago that is lenient enough to trade with shapeshifters.
Yeah.
So they probably don't have the strictest laws, in general, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe they actually have, we haven't talked about the political system and the justice system, but maybe we have a court. You commit a crime, you stand trial, you get a sentence.
Yeah.
Whereas in Norport, the capital, stuff like that, maybe it's like, oh, crime, well,
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Would give some sense of agency of even when. Well, would give some sense of agency even when she keeps getting swept along.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the main dystopian things here is the oversight from the government. That's pretty abstract and might not be visible right away. So she could see visible suffering, but the people not daring to speak up about it.
Mm-hmm.
She could be concerned that it might take time to realize just how much fear there is before beyond just the tangible suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because she also comes from a place that is transparent and like, I'm not entirely certain about the political system around the shapeshifters, but they don't have like, here is one person who makes decisions.
No,
it's more of a community
effort. Yeah. Or at least if it's not like everyone has a vote, it's at least like, well, this person represents this family.
Yeah.
And this person represents this street. And like a bit more insight as well.
Yeah. And more care, like more caring for each other. Because that tends to happen in any smaller community. You care more about the people around you.
Yeah.
In a larger country, that becomes more difficult.
Why aren't we writing anything this time?
I don't know.
Shapeshifters come from a more caring place, more insight and transparency.
Yeah.
That's not how you spell transparency, apparently. It's an E somewhere. It's different. Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that she, she sees this suffering and starts to realize that, oh, this is what suffering actually looks like. And then maybe a little bit wonder because like, okay, you're starving, not much you can do about that if you don't have food, before maybe realizing that, oh, the reason you're starving is not that there's not food, it's just that all the food gets sent to the capital because the king or the ruler wants to eat.
Yeah. The ruler wants to eat?
Yes.
Absurd.
And then but what you might see more tangible is the corrupt justice system where like the guards have full authority to kill someone for shoplifting. And she's maybe wondering, but why isn't anyone protesting? Maybe if she sees like, okay, someone shoplifted or something, a petty crime, the guards beat them to death in the street, and she might
said anything.
Yeah, she might be wondering, why is no one protesting against this? And then that way slowly realizing that all of this, like Moon is saying, that all of this comes from the top.
Yeah. All of it comes from the top. So if she was on top.
Yes.
She could change things.
Yeah.
She could be the change she wants to see in the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if things progress the way they have, I mean, with better writing, but she gets to the city on the west coast, does she have a name? She does the medal trial in front of Ali, loses Ted. Her air trial is in around a village, at least. So she could see people. But I also think villages are not as strict as the cities.
I mean, that depends.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually gets to the city. Because I'm also like, I want her to be able to talk to someone about this. For example, Nier, I'm not sure. But I'm also wondering, because the thing I included towards the end is she starts hearing other shapeshifters in Norport. Not the first time she's there, but the second time she's there, when news has spread that she's been there. There's been a shapeshifter sighting. It might be the someone, an heir to the throne. Then they start talking to her telepathically. Which I don't remember how we said that works. But either way, she hears them. And no one's touching her, so it's fine.
It was if you're not touching, you can broadcast to everyone around.
Right, and that's what's happening then.
Yeah.
And I do really like that part as well. And it also, in a way, I think would give her strength to know that there are others like her there. More enthusiasm, please.
Yes, yay, absolutely.
No, but I'm just thinking if because I agree that maybe she should have a not a change of heart, but like I could fix this moment.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that has to be, she has that moment of realization and then it's just a straight up trajectory, there we go, to I have no doubts I will take the throne, I'll take the throne, I have the throne, everything's great.
No.
She could still have insecurities and concerns and falter a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if she, earlier than Norport, or the first time she's in Norport, I guess, also not she's going to be there twice if we change. Either way, at some point she witnesses hardship and suffering and, what we just talked about, and realizes that I could fix this. If I, commit, I could fix this, hopefully. Yeah. And then stuff happens, obviously. Something happens that makes her doubt her abilities or falter or whatever it is. And then she hears other shapeshifters and they are essentially calling out for her help. And that being like, okay, more reason to try.
Yeah. I started thinking there maybe if what she is doubting is maybe not her ability, but if she loses faith in the people here, if she's like, but the people don't want help, say maybe she's talked to someone about like, well, wouldn't it be better if things changed? and they like rat her out to the guards maybe,
Mhm.
and like she loses faith that okay, but they don't want my help.
Mhm.
They like this, and then maybe she starts thinking that, well, maybe this is what they deserve then, for example.
Mhm.
And then after that, she starts hearing shapeshifters who like can talk to her in another way, and not only telepathically, but also like she feels more camaraderie to them,
Mhm.
and they can show her, no, but we want your help, and also we have human friends who do want your help.
Mm.
People are just scared.
We would rally behind you if given the option.
Yeah.
But then it also, because I really like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
But it does make me question, because we said that we didn't want shapeshifters to be a big part of the story
Mm-hmm.
on the mainland. Nearest one. But
Yeah.
the connection there was shapeshifter, archivist. Archivists have power. Archivist holds truth.
Yeah.
Archivists are trusted. But I really like what we're talking about now, but that would mean that they have to be a bigger thing.
I mean, not necessarily.
But I want them to be bigger.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, continue.
No, I was thinking like it depends on what you mean by bigger thing, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there doesn't have to be like, oh, here's a group of 100 shapeshifters, and they're all asking for your help.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that there are two families of shapeshifters in Norport.
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones she gets in touch with. They are the ones that tell her that but there are people want a change.
Mm-hmm.
They're just scared.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be like, oh, we're finding 5,000 shapeshifters and
No.
now we're rallying.
No, but I meant that I want her to connect with someone who is a shapeshifter. Maybe someone other than Near, or it's Near, but then Near needs to be a bigger part of the story. Near. And in a way, someone like take her by the hand and be like, this is this problem. Fix problem. Yeah, something. I'm not sure. But I want the shapeshifters to play a part later on, like in the second half of the story at least.
Yeah.
Or slightly before she and Nia meet. And this is the way that she could also become more active.
Yeah.
That she can become an activist.
Yes.
Moon thinks all this is sounding so good. Yay.
Yes. I'm glad. So do I.
Write something down. And then we'll go to the chat.
Lid tries to convince someone that things are bad.
Mm-hmm.
That someone tells on her.
Yeah.
She loses faith in the people and wonders if it's worth it to save them.
Mm.
Gets contact with shapeshifters who convince her that they and also humans need help and would probably on her.
Yeah. Question.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna get to the chat, I promise.
Yeah.
But question. I know we just talked about like, oh, shapeshifters get shapeshifters?
Shapeshifters, yes.
Shoplifters and shapeshifters.
Shapelifters and shapeshifters.
That's our title. Perfect. It's no longer the duo rope party. It's a shapeshifters or shapeshifters. Are you writing that down in your document?
Yes.
Good. No, but I know we just said that shapeshift. We can't do this. I know we just say that shoplifters get beat up or, something worse in the streets with no trial. But I was thinking with this too, if she gets ratted out to guards.
Hmm.
And they either beat her. I mean, I don't think they cut her arm off, but if they beat her up or they take her away, or
Cuts her arm off.
well, yes, that will happen at some point. Not the other arm though. Either way, if there is some sort of holding cell or something that she could be thrown into, and then be like, well, what's the point? Why am I even trying to do this? And then somewhere else in this holding cell, in this prison, and nearby, there are shapeshifters, or a shapeshifter who's like, well, actually,
Yeah.
that could work.
Yeah.
One of the things about systems that keep people down is there's a pecking order. Yes. So, for example, in American history, people who are looked down on because they were recent immigrants or different or poor would then discriminate against and be hateful towards Black Americans. Instead of various groups of oppressed people banding together.
Yeah.
So if Lyd talks to a mid-tier oppressed person, they would not want to risk losing the tiny bit of power they have by banding together. True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
We should try to, at some point, establish what that pecking order is.
Yeah.
Who is low and who is mid and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, because also with a thing to bear in mind, shapeshifters are lowest tier people in a way, but the shapeshifters who are living in Norport they're hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
People don't know that they are shapeshifters.
No.
So they can have quite a bit of power and influence.
Yeah.
Because no one knows. And then I imagine no shapeshifter in Norport is out, I guess. But still, they could still be within the pecking order as well.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if they're gonna help her,
Mm-hmm.
they should probably be fairly low, because especially if they have a little bit of power, why would they want to risk that power and risk being exposed as shapeshifters by helping her?
But there, I'm thinking that chocolate is really good.
So she's gonna buy them chocolates and then. It's
great. No, but I'm thinking, I know you talked about like 2 families of shapeshifters.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've established where shapeshifters come from. Like, does it need to be 2 shapeshifters having a baby and that baby is a shapeshifter? Or is it enough that one parent is a shapeshifter and they have a 50-50 chance of having a shapeshifter offspring? And so on. I'm just thinking it could be, even within the shapeshifters in Norport, there could be a hierarchy or a pecking order.
Yeah.
And the lowest tier people could work as a bridge in a way between Lyd and the higher shapeshifters.
But again, why would the higher shapeshifters take that risk?
Because they realize that things could be better. They actually do want things to improve, but they will not be the first people to band behind her because of the privilege they have. But if enough shapeshifters convince them, we'll get there. Shapeshifters making slight changes to displace. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That sounds like a very chaotic sort of activism / vandalism.
Yep.
I like it. Speaking of, I saw a TikTok where it was a bookstore worker, a bookstore owner, I'm not sure, that had printed out little cardboard versions of covers of books, and they were gluing them to little straw, plastic, cardboard animals to put on display in their window, so they would look like they had their own little book circle. And it was adorable. Hello, Amy. Welcome.
Hello, welcome.
But still, she could meet a shapeshifter after she tries to question what's going on.
Yeah.
She could meet a shapeshifter who is bottom tier shapeshifter, and at least start something.
Yes.
Because it also doesn't have to be like, yes, all shapeshifters are rallying behind her straight away.
Yeah.
But it could be that, oh, this person is like, no, but we need help. This and this could change. and then as news spread about her, as she stands up to the guards, as she throws a rock at one of the, like, I don't know, somehow people could start coming around.
Yeah.
And we also have Mir, who is a knowledgeable person, and yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Yes. It is okay that you're late, AB. We are happy that you're here now.
Yes, we have invented shapeshifters.
Yes.
And Moon has a very good
Definition.
Yes, of what they are.
Yes. We have been talking about how to make Lid's part of the story a bit more interesting. We have
Preferably a lot more interesting.
Yes. We have sort of concluded that she needs more agency, and we have come up with something that will potentially make her start making her own decisions instead of just reacting to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So, are we moving on? And if so, do you want to talk about the new air trial for her?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Lid's current air trial is awful. Lid wakes up to screaming voices. She approaches a cliff. She looks down at the village below. There's a crater. That is weird. She hears screaming coming from above. Huh, there's a house up there. And then she shifts into a bird. She flies up to the house. She flies into the house. There's a very scared family in there. She shifts into human. They're like, oh no, you're a shifter. We don't trust you. She's like, well, I'm trying to save you. And then she grabs a piece of rope, ties it to the wall, jumps out the window with the intention to land and then pull the house down. And somehow she succeeds.
Cool.
And it's rubbish. And I hate it. And I don't understand why I wrote that.
Okay.
Which is what I say about a lot of things. So I want her to have a much, much, much more interesting air trial.
Oh? I will say that out of all of Niam's trials, his air trial is also the one that I have most problems with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a theme.
Yes. Air trials are boring.
Yes. Okay, question.
Uh-huh.
Is there another element we could do instead?
I don't know.
Could it be a time when she starts to have hope for the people before she loses faith in them? Could you rally some humans to help with this? Pulling the house down from the sky? I would prefer for there to not be a house in the sky.
We will not have a house in the sky.
We're not a house in the sky?
Howl.
Okay.
Today we found out what Bodhi sounds like.
Yes.
And it's adorable.
It's adorable.
Sounds like a squeaky toy.
Yeah. We saw a video of baby foxes.
Yeah.
And they were adorable.
Yeah.
But yes, your air trial, Niam's air trial, is a tornado.
Yeah.
That takes Bodhi.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which means that Niam has two trials where his primary thing is to save Bodhi, which is good. He should be saving Bodhi if Bodhi is in danger. But yeah.
What's the other one?
The plant one.
Oh.
Yeah, I've changed it now so that it's Bodhi who gets poisoned, and then Niam has to find people to help him.
So should it be a completely other kind of air trial, or just adjusting what is there? I would prefer entirely different. Give her a new thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So wind is like the hurricane and tornado and wind, air, could be gas.
Yeah.
But she's already poisoned with the plant trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the time she does her air trials, she has metal, fire, ground, and plant powers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, she didn't use a rope. But at one point, she used vines to take the house down.
Cool.
Hate it. Maybe there could be a bridge mountain pass high place, and suddenly there's a windstorm while she is trying to cross with others.
Or a thematic kind of air trial.
By thematic, I mean something that like emotionally or socially associated with wind or air.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is the thing?
I mean, also bearing in mind that she is inventive.
Yeah.
Could it be something of like combining things a little bit here? Like a bridge was knocked down and she has to build a new one under the circumstances of wind, or harness the power of wind, build a wind turbine to power something.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have electricity, but they don't have electricity. You know?
I mean, I do remember us talking about like wind turbines or yeah, something like that.
Maybe a broken windmill or something she has to fix.
Yeah.
The people are starving because the mill doesn't mill the grain.
I mean, yeah.
Air challenge. Panic, calm. Great.
Yeah.
Same. How many pages is that? Like 67 pages?
69.
Yeah. That could put her high in the air, but where she needs hands and can't be a bird. True. Maybe she has to create wind with some invention to drive the windmill, and only once she's been able to create artificial wind does she get the magical wind. True.
Yeah. We talked about virtues and stuff before. Fairness and humility is what we put for air.
I mean, I would like the idea of her getting to fix something, like a broken windmill or a bridge or something, because that is something she's good at naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, naturally, she might have worked to get good at it, but it's something she knows.
Yeah.
And it could work well for her to get that connection with back home again, because this is also after she's lost Teb and feeling very defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of having to somehow harness the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be something like that. She has to invent something or create or build or repair. Maybe it's broken, but even once she fixes it, it won't go because there is no wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. And how would she create artificial wind? She has fire and water. She doesn't have water. She has fire, plant, metal, and ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking like a what's that called? Vattenhjul? Water wheel?
Yeah.
She doesn't have water power, but if she could power it with fire instead. Make it out of metal so it won't melt. And then the smoke, the hot air will spin it.
Maybe.
I'm no lid, but
then she's not creating or
well, she's creating wind.
Is she? How?
If the spinny thing that she creates, it turning.
She creates a fan.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. It has to be pretty big to be powerful, but
Yeah.
because that's something she could use her powers to make, but she could play it off as she's just good at working with metal.
Yeah.
And she can make a fire like anyone else can make a fire.
Yeah.
A kite could work. Or the wind creating invention has to be operated by lots of villagers working together, flapping a giant sail or something. Yeah, if she turns the heat into motion with a wheel. Yeah. I was just thinking if you could tie it to the virtues somehow, tying the windmills to fairness. I mean, if it's connected to... Okay, if it's connected to people not getting fed, like Moon talked about, because the mill won't mill the grain, and the owner of the mill charges extortionate amounts of money for a bag of grain, or for a bag of flour, whatever, and she decides to fix it if the owner agrees to charge no more than whatever, or charge according to the income of the person, like some sort of deal like that.
Yeah.
I do like that air would involve invention and collaboration, because in Western astrology, air is about intellect and communication. Because only the highest ranking people get any food because they're making the poorest people hand mill for them. Could be. So with her creating a mechanical mill, everyone gets food. Yay, socialism!
Yes.
The rich people won't pay to fix the windmill. Yeah. Because then it's sort of tied both to fairness of everyone around here now gets fed, and her solving a problem that the people are facing.
Yeah. So, a windmill is broken. Broken. Yes, we have bits and pieces and isn't fitting together yet, but yes, I'm trying to fit them together. That's a good question. Do you like it?
I do.
Yeah?
Much more than what I have.
Yes, that's good. A windmill is broken. The
owner.
The owner. I mean, why would the owner not want to fix it? That doesn't really make sense.
No. What if they can't?
Like
the owner is old and broken. Like their windmill.
Yes. The owner can't fix it.
Lynn does. The end.
Yes. Okay, just starting with a windmill is broken. This causes
a food shortage.
Yes.
That's the wrong spelling of flour.
Yes, well, they can't get flowers either.
I mean, okay, here I have a question, though. It could be that the rich people get food because they can afford to go somewhere else for their grain or for their flour. I don't really see why. Yes, I am a poor person. I can operate this mill, or like manually.
Yeah.
Why would I not take home the flour? Because if the rich people are paying them a lot, I will not remain poor person.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Also, Moon's husband is pointing out that a broken windmill doesn't stop people from grinding their own meal with mortar and pestle. Makes it so they have less time to do other work.
Mm.
So maybe, yeah, exactly what Violet is saying. Maybe the thing is that she helps them make a windmill.
Yeah.
There isn't one.
No.
Or maybe there used to be one.
But it's fallen into disrepair over the years.
Yeah, like the
government, struck down on windmills.
Yes.
They are the enemy.
Yeah, no, but like there used to be a windmill, but then the owner of that windmill died, and the rich people decided that no, you peasants had too much time on your hand. We're not gonna
of course
make sure that this windmill,
as we all know.
Yes. We're not going to make sure that this windmill works. You're going to have to grind your own flour from now on. And they do that. And yeah, that stuff.
Could it also be that it's become sort of a punishment? There used to be a functioning windmill. But 10 years ago, someone in this region, the owner of the mill, thoroughly offended a guard. Said that their mother smelled of elderberries or something. Monty Python reference. And the guards actually came and ruined it.
Yeah.
Took away vital parts, something, so that it's not operational anymore, which led to people in turn having to hand mill their grain.
Yeah.
Hand mill their flour. Yeah. And now, they're used to it, but she can fix it.
Yeah.
If it broke recently, that's her being more active, or that in a way has a bigger impact. If it's been broken for 20 years, 10 years, whatever, then people are so used to this being the way things are and maybe don't mind in the same way as if we were used to getting, pre-milled flour yesterday compared to 10 years ago. Oh, I remember when I grew up, there was a mill, but there hasn't been one in 50 years. It keeps getting longer. And something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm thinking also that things can still have changed, even if the windmill, they never had one, or it's been broken or gone for a long time. If taxes have been recently raised so that now they have to spend even more time grinding flour because the tax is paid in flour. I don't know, but
maybe.
I
had a thought that made no sense. Hold on, let me think it again.
Okay.
I was thinking if there's sort of, this doesn't make it, I haven't thoroughly thought it through, but if there are different regions of the continent that produces different things.
Like the Hunger Games?
Not like the Hunger Games, actually, but sure. No, but if the forests are northwest and then there's a lot of good ground for growing grain southeast, but that doesn't actually matter here anyway. I started thinking of Settlers of Catan for some reason, which, I like Amy's idea though. Maybe they don't have a windmill, what they have is only a hand-turned mill, and she creates a windmill instead.
I also like Violet's, the wind and the air might go from a burden to a strength.
It's a very plain, the land is very flat.
Yeah.
And so they've been suffering for many, many years and whatever reasons. But if they have a windmill, they can actually make use of it.
Yeah.
Because again, they don't have electricity.
No.
So she won't actually turn it into a wind turbine.
No.
Maybe down the line, when she's ruler, when she invents electricity.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Places that grow a lot of grain are super flat and windy.
Yeah. Okay then. So there is probably is a hand mill though.
Yes.
Another sort of mill. And this could also be, maybe that's a bit, sorry, keep going.
No.
Maybe it's a bit anticlimactic. Because the metal trial starts itself. The plant trial and subsequently fire and ground start themselves. This could just be lid passing through and be like, it's very windy here. Oh, you have problem milling your grain? I'm just going to build a windmill. You know?
Yeah.
But then it's not actually a trial. Then she just does something that turns out that she now has wind powers.
But maybe that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We could, like, it doesn't have to be that the trial starts, you have to do a thing, and you have to do it within a day because otherwise you're dead. But the wind trial is differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's different from the other ones in that it can happen absolutely anywhere, which water sort of can too, but
not on land.
No. Well,
yeah.
But it can happen anywhere and it can happen at any time, and maybe it's not so much that here it is.
No.
But rather you will get a few chances over the course of these 2 months.
And you might not pick up on that it is a challenge going on.
Yeah.
/ it could also be because there are, one more time, there are gods in this world with each power.
Yes.
And they start the trials.
Yes.
It could also be you have proven to the wind god, you've proven to wind that you deserve to harness it.
Yeah.
It could be that, which also works if their water trial is finding something in Shardmere or finding Shardmere. Then they're like, yeah, we're just going to dive in the water and see what we can find. But actually, voila, it's a trial.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, I'm just like, so wind is lazy, doesn't want to do a trial. I don't want to come up with something for you to do. You just do your thing and I'll see if you are ready to deal with me.
Yeah. Sorry, we should finish writing the things so we don't forget it.
Yes. Wind is problematic.
I thought you said it was lazy.
Well, problematic and lazy are not necessarily
mutually exclusive.
No. Also, they have trouble with finding flour with only a hand-operated
or
mill.
Moon suggested a donkey-operated one. If you need to include donkeys, so you're not swearing when you mention them.
True. Something has happened relatively recently to make this extra problematic.
But maybe the wind has gotten worse.
Yeah.
Or it's the windy season.
Yeah.
It's always worse this time of year, and every year we're equally unprepared.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Question. I don't think we actually actively want people to rally behind her with like pitchforks and torches when she goes to take down the ruler. But we also have talked about her mom coming to her rescue.
Yeah.
And stuff. I'm just saying, say she does this, people here are very, very grateful. guards pass through, or knights or whatever, pass through when she's gone. And they're like, why do you have this strange structure? Oh, well, it helps us, with producing grain. And they're like, yeah, hand me that torch. And then undoes all her hard work, which won't affect her, but would then have, 200 people living near this mill who are like, no, but she helped us.
Yeah.
She made it better. You made it worse. Even if they don't know she's a shapeshifter, and maybe even if it takes them a while to put two and two together, when like, oh, a shapeshifter heir has gone to the capital, news starts spreading. Once they put two and two together, I'm sure they'd rally behind her.
Yeah.
At least the vast majority. I also like how we keep calling them guards. I don't know if guards is the right word, but soldiers. Men with pointy sticks. They might have windstorms in the area that has started recently. Could it be the tornado that affected the air? They're just like. Also, maybe. I like that, AB, that the wind could like snatch up her scarf or something and fly it to this place, and that is what starts the trial.
Yeah,
it's a much, 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 much gentler trial than like fire.
Well, maybe she deserves that at this point.
Time for a break.
Yeah.
I'm also curious how the air powers present. Like what happens to make her realize she's completed the trial and has air powers now. I'm thinking since she doesn't yes.
I mean, yes.
Didn't take it up with the council.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like how, or I was just thinking, since she doesn't know the trial has started, she doesn't know it's ended.
Mm-hmm.
So in the previous ones, like the plant fire ground one, she's like, yeah, I've screwed up. This was a fire trial. She doesn't know the other two have happened. I killed them. I burnt down a forest. Like everything bad, and so she doesn't really expect to wake up the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I think she'll just go to bed like any other day, and then she'll wake up, and then a while later, like, not even think she used the power, but for some reason, like, oh, it would be so nice if my scarf from over there was here. If only, whoosh! Oh, what? Oh, you know?
Yeah, I'm also thinking if she's like, I don't know, hunting, or if she's trying to hide, and like, oh, the wind is in the wrong direction. Blowing in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I need it to blow in the other direction, and then it does, and like subtle things until she maybe realizes that, wait, I can do things.
Yeah. True. Two things. One, could the wind help her to realize she has powers? I.e., she does this thing, she gets the power, she doesn't understand that she has them, and then later on when she's hunting, she realized, like sort of what you said, but not quite. She realizes that, oh, I'm gonna try to hunt that deer, but the wind is coming this way, going that way. It will be able to sense me or sniff me, and that's bad. And then she notices that the wind changes, but she didn't actually do anything. But it's the wind being like, hey, you could do this yourself. Hey. Maybe. Second thing, since the air trial can happen wherever, once she has left Inferno Valley, I want her, we don't need her, but I want her to set sail for somewhere. I want her to have an aim. This happens to happen on the way, but I still want her to be like, I'm going east. I am going to Norport. I am, which was really important, but I forgot why.
Cool.
I do like the building permit thing though.
Yeah.
And I agree, it would give her agency to, if she just decides to build this thing without being asked to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was
Bring up that.
gonna. Yes.
Because I mean, Norport isn't very far away.
No.
But we also had the thing where I forgot where she's supposed to enter and exit the Inferno Valley.
Yes.
She is orange, yellow, whatever color that is.
Yes.
So I mean, when she leaves a little bit northeast of where you are, there,
Yeah.
she is close to Norport.
Yeah.
So that could make sense that she's just like, I'm gonna go that way.
Yeah.
Because she has no map, really. That was one of the things she lost 4 times.
Yeah, I'm thinking it makes sense for her to go to a city to maybe get some supplies.
I mean, she did lose things in the fire. That is the place she loses things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe also she's thinking that, like, going from Norport and straight there, either as a bird or swimming or like, because if she can turn into a trout.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It's one of the more inconspicuous ones. So like, oh, I'm a whale now. Yes. Fair enough.
Yeah. So that she doesn't maybe have the plan of going around here, which I don't remember why she does eventually. But anyway, what?
I had an idea when you said trout.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just like, once she is eventually in the capital, I know the capital isn't on the coast, but it's next, if you scroll down a little bit so you can see it. It's next, yeah, there's a river in from the ocean, from the sea, whatever, right?
Other direction, but yes.
Yes, but there's a river between the lake and, yeah. No, I'm just like, on the mainland, there are fishermen, and they've been fishing, and I'm like, the fish are behaving really weirdly. Like, they're not in the place they usually are, and the school of fish, they're like breaking, whatever. Fish aren't behaving normally.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's shapeshifters. A whole school of ships, a whole school of fish, of shapeshifters. They're like marching on the capital.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, we will never see it because
Yep.
we're not going to be there. But unless Lyd hears about all the strange fish in the harbor today. Anyway, her building the mill with no grain to herself. No.
Yes.
With no gain to herself. I'm fixing my glasses, I promise. Not knowing the trial just because she wants to. Also feels tangentially related to humility. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is again her getting to use her own powers, which is invention and making and creating and building and so many powers.
Yes.
Things that remind her of home, things that she had before she went on the quest as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
But I do wonder why she gets no grain out of it. Does she at least get flour?
Yes.
School of shapeshifters, exactly.
Now I'm just thinking about being a shapeshifter child and your parents telling you to go to school and you go to turn into a fish, join a school of fish.
And they're like, sure, I guess I'll learn. Yes. As is known, there's a specific cliff on one of the islands where people just line up with their kids and just throw them in the sea. Go to school.
Yes.
I feel like there is there are a few short stories. We should do that. We should do a collection of just short stories of stupid ideas in this world.
Yes.
Like an anthology thing. Because I feel like we've had more of these brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
That I now can't remember. But please write down School of Shapeshifters somewhere. No grain to herself. Lyd is gluten-free, obviously.
Obviously. Okay. Then
I think you spelled it right for the record, Amy. I think it is yeah, whatever. Tangent. I think you spelled it fine. You spelled
We've
it
just
fine.
never heard it spoken.
We've never heard it spoken. We've never said it.
Yes.
Words, numbers. Yes. You said yes, and then started scrolling.
Yes, I did. I was wondering, do you feel like you need more here?
No, I think that could work. Sorry, I'm just very invested in the grain thing and the school of fish now. Off to school. If we ever self-publish this and we do like Kickstarter for it, one of the perks. Ooh, and then we can commission someone to do art.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Anyway, no, I think that is fine with air trial. Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Growing up on an island, Lynn might not have had grain as a stable part of her diet.
No.
True. Yeah.
That's very true.
You guys are very right.
Yeah.
Don't go throwing your kids in the ocean. Pro tip.
Yes. Cool. So, are we moving on to revision?
I think we are. We've been going for an hour and a half.
We have, yes.
That was so fast.
I am so sorry.
Okay. Yes.
How do we revision? How do you revise? What is revision? What do you do?
Yes. Moon made a comment. Also, by the way, I want to point out that AV made a comment on our stream last time that I've actually not read to you in full, Marcus.
Uh-huh.
But AV suggested doing a first page rewrite, dividing up big projects into little parts and make it less daunting.
Huh?
Dividing big projects up in small parts to make it less daunting. Do a first page rewrite.
Uh-huh.
Which I never answered you about AV, but yes. But Moon did have a comment about revision on my video,
cool.
saying that there is no right way to do it. So, yes.
Glad to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, Rach, I also saw just before we started here that Rachel had made a comment on my update video.
Yeah.
But I haven't had time to look at it.
Cool.
Yes. So
So many possibilities of how to approach revision. So step one is not to worry that you're doing it wrong. Good.
That is a very good point.
Revision is hard. Also a good point.
Yes.
Yes and no. I have bullet pointed what happens in each chapter, but with not a lot of commentary on it. Not a lot of like, oh, I like the way this conversation goes down. Oh, I hated the way I described shoes. None of that, really. But more so, does this, does that, goes there, this happens.
Yeah.
What about you, Marcus? You didn't take notes at all.
I took some notes.
Oh.
I took notes and I made basically notes of this is a thing that needs to change or this is a thing that needs to be mentioned earlier and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my sort of what I usually do when I do revision. I start by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Ghost in the Castle.
Hello.
Welcome. And revisions are daunting.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
Welcome to the group.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I still don't know if I want to reread it again, but also if I want to rework it in the document I have, or like I said before, bullet point or big picture thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Write a short outline basically of what happens and then write it again.
No.
Without really paying a lot of attention to the first draft.
Yeah.
There I am undecided.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, I think I should reread it. Now that I'm closer to revision.
Mm.
But I don't want to because it's bad. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm going to share this again. We suggested these two things for you.
Mm. And the second one definitely requires a reread.
Yeah.
The first one kind of.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the first one could be not a full reread.
Mm-hmm.
What you could do is take the document you have, maybe copy the document you have, so you have two versions of it.
Yeah.
And then do a fairly quick run through of one of them, and like actually just deleting scenes that you start reading and you're like, yeah, no, this isn't necessary.
So more of a skim through.
Yeah.
Question with that though.
Yeah.
I agree, but question with that, there might be things that are revealed in those subplots or scenes that the scene itself is going. But around this point, Lid should find this thing out, or Lid should think this way.
Yeah.
That will go if I delete the scene.
Yeah.
Should I make sure to make note of that, or should I hopefully remember later on that? Yeah.
I mean, that's up to you. Like,
I just want to delete things.
Yes.
I like
no, but
chaos.
what I would do, I think, in that situation.
Ah,
Yes.
I ran over my foot.
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, I ran over. Where is it? The ear of my smoke. Yes.
Not okay.
No. What you would do?
I think what I would do would be to skim through, just write out, delete scenes or parts of scenes that should be deleted.
Mm-hmm. Like write that in the document. Delete.
I would do it on the computer and just
delete it.
Yeah.
No.
And then either doing what Moon is. I'm gonna get back to the rest of the chat, but Moon just said that putting things in brackets. Lid learns this thing. Either do that if you know that here is where that happens.
Yeah.
Or delete all the things you want to delete, and then do a more thorough read through. Doing this and also making note of, but she never learned this thing, and writing that down separately. That somewhere she should learn this thing, so you can put that in. Because I sort of started doing that a few years ago when I realized that if I tried to keep, like, I want to delete this scene, but I want them to discover this thing, it would be so difficult for me to, like, fix. I would try to put too many things of the bad scene into that, because this is how they found out that last time. And I have found that it works better for me to just, they need to find this out somewhere, somehow, but not necessarily in a scene that's even similar to this one.
No. Fair enough. Quick side note.
Yeah?
Do I look fine in person?
Yes.
Yeah, because I look so incredibly pale.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't, like, I look more alive in real life, right?
Yes, you
Good.
do.
I'm like, am I getting sick? Am I...
Vampire?
No? Sorry, that was... Yeah.
Yes.
Scrolling in the chat.
Yes.
Oh, wow, lots of comments.
Categorizing things, color-coded bullet points, quick fix, character building issue, pacing problem, and things like that is a way of doing things. Then there's the possibility of fixing smaller things first, so it's quick and your list gets a lot shorter and less daunting. Or tackling the biggest thing that needs to change, so all the other things seem small in comparison.
I mean, I feel like I'm more drawn to do that.
Yeah.
With, again, deleting big things, like we just talked about, and also, I mean, write the new air trial at some point.
Yeah.
Doing that. Because the reason I'd like to have the bullet point thing, I think, maybe not at this point, maybe for a later draft, but being like, okay, both bullet point of plot points, and then in that or next to it, bullet point of Lid discovers, learns, thinks, figures out, experiences.
Yeah.
And then looking at that and being like, okay, but she never. There's a clear point where she accepts that she's lost him. There isn't a clear place where she decides to go for the throne. Like, where would that fit in?
Yeah.
Both plot-wise and Lid's emotions, sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Printing it out and scribble all of the printout rather than trying to make changes in a document. I think for me, big changes I would do in the document, small changes I would do printed out.
I mean, I do prefer
Probably.
reading big chunks of text on paper.
Yeah.
And I do have it printed out, and I have no notes, I think, on the actual document, in the actual printouts, apart from where I highlighted really weird typos and stuff.
Yeah. I also bullet point summarize what happens, then I color code them according to if they are plot, character, events, and I reorder or rewrite it from there. Yeah. Copy the whole thing into a new document so I can leave the original untouched and not worry that I want something back that I deleted. Yeah, that's what I mentioned when I made my first suggestion. Just in case there's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It's just my neck.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, Moon just likes colored pens. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, one problem with me doing a lot of my work on paper is that my handwriting is a challenge.
Yes. Also, just colored pens. I need to share these.
He rediscovered those recently.
I rediscovered these. I don't know if you can really tell, but
turn them. No, other way.
They are evolutions.
Yep, and they are erasable highlighters.
Yes.
They are friction pens.
That's where I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what they are. And they are friction highlighters, and they are amazing, and I love them.
And we only bought those 3 years ago.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can search for brackets as a,
Yeah.
Yes. As a comment to the previous thing.
Yes.
I note stuff down while deleting if there are important reveals or plot points, and once I've deleted everything, I brainstorm if I could include those things into the remaining scenes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I read that and then did not pay attention. Did I actually say the words?
Yes, you did.
Note stuff down while deleting if there are important things. And see, yes, okay, yes. I do that sometimes. I've asked Marcus questions like 4 times and been like, hey, what about this thing? And he gives me an answer. I'm like, cool. Hey, what did you actually say? And then, oh, okay, cool. What did you say? It's fine.
Yes.
But all ways are really valid. It's just personal preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since I never ever really get here, I'm going to have to learn what I prefer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes. I keep a separate revision notes document even during drafting, so you could put the notes in separate docs instead of in brackets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that a thing I do when I draft that I have done in this, but none of it really ended up useful, is that I will make a comment to myself in the middle of the page if I think of something like, oh, this should happen soon, or oh, yeah, include this somehow.
Yeah.
And then I'll sort of push that below where I'm typing as I'm working on it. And usually at the end of the document, I end up with those notes to myself, which are then not in the right place, but still. And also, if I've written something and I'm like, no, I don't like how this sounds, or this is the wrong angle to take it, I'll move that to the bottom of the document to keep the words for the word count but not keep it. Like if I were to know now that when I'm writing it that I hate it, I don't want it to be in the story. Yeah, I don't purposely leave things for myself to fix in the next draft that I know are stupid than in there, basically.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you've never heard of erasable highlighters. Do you want us to send you some?
Yeah, they're. I think friction pens is not a Nordic thing. Bug has those.
You sent them to Bug.
Didn't she have?
No.
Oh.
No, you sent a purple and a green to Bug.
Yeah.
In the swap last year.
Well, this is the name of the brand.
They're pilots. The brand is pilots.
Yes.
The make is friction.
Pilot friction.
Yeah.
So if you, we can. I love these pens. I'm just gonna real quick
show you how many we have. How many Markus has? I have a couple too.
Yes. These are not all of the ones I have, but they come in a lot of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And they are erasable. And these are, you can
change the cartridge.
You can change the cartridge. So if you run out of ink, you can put in new ink and keep using them.
Yeah.
And again, they exist as this kind, which are like you click them.
Yeah.
They exist as.
I have this version. These are also ink ones, but with a cap.
Yeah.
And then they have the eraser there.
Yeah.
This is really old. I don't know if they make these anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're just getting sidetracked with pens.
Yes.
And then highlighters.
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 versions that exist.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So
let us know if you want them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moon doesn't think that she's pushed stuff ahead. Yeah, I do that. And especially if I'm like, oh, here's an idea for 2 scenes from now. Since I don't work with outlines usually. But I'm like, oh, but this thing could turn. Someone could betray them. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll put that further down and then eventually, hopefully sometimes, get to that and be like, oh, the betrayal. That should happen now. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've done that sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But not. Or I used to do that where I pushed the entire scene. I put that at the end of the document. I don't do that anymore because I try to not save things that I'm not gonna use at all. But I do on occasion put a note at the end of the document that like. Remember to make sure that this happens, or this is the relationship these 2 people have if I keep forgetting things like that.
Yeah. It's similar to what I do when I realize that, oh no, they have 2 siblings instead of 3.
Yeah.
Then I make a comment at that point in the story, even if it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And then I know that from there on out, they should have 2 siblings. And when I'm going through it again, if I ever get there, up until that point, there are probably 3 siblings, and that should change.
Yeah.
Yeah. AP does it all the time. I always end up with 1 to 2 pages of notes or short paragraphs at the end of the draft. Try and stop doing that, though. You had 20 pages of notes. Oops.
Yeah.
I used to write whole random scenes like that. I have a little bit of that in this draft. Not a lot. I think I had maybe 2 pages of 1 to 2 row notes, so like they weren't very long, and then maybe 1 page of story I wrote and decided to not keep and just kept pushing ahead of me. And I feel like I should overcome that too, because like that's probably not something I'm ever gonna need for the story again. It's not the thing of like, oh, I deleted this and now I wish I had it again. It's just no, but the words, probably because I am very word focused when I write and do a lot of nanos. Could be that.
Could be. Anyway, regarding our revision.
Yes.
What are we going to do?
Revise.
Yes.
I'm going to reread mine and make notes of things I like, and then I'm going to delete big things, and then I'm going to write an air trial. And that's roughly where I am.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you want to do with yours? What are your problems with it? Because you started rewriting your beginning.
Yes. I started rewriting the beginning, and then I felt like that was too slow. So that's a problem I have.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Yes. I don't really know what my problem is. I think, again, I'm a little bit stuck at the beginning being slow, but I did figure out a way to fix that. I just haven't actually fixed it yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But you like your plot better.
Yes.
You like Neo's storyline more than I've liked Liz.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, and might mean that you don't need to rewrite as much as I do, or at least not the big picture stuff.
No.
I am gonna apologize or excuse myself and run off for a bit, but I will be back.
Cool. Do that.
Thanks.
Yes. But yes, 3 steps ahead. 3 steps ahead. 3 steps ahead is enough to keep track of. And that's a good point. We also don't need to figure out more than what we need to do until next month. But I think my strategy is going to be fairly similar to what it usually is, which is just go through each, because what I have is like every 3 or 4 pages or so, I have some notes, which is like change these things in the things that I just wrote or read, and then now for the revision process, I go through and I do change those things. And the reason I'm just stuck in the beginning is that I changed how Niam's powers work, so I had to change a lot of things in the beginning because that was a lot about his powers because he just got them. You keep profiles of each character. I heard it's good to have when you go back over your story. I don't think I've actually kept profiles, which is a very good point that I really should. Because I tend to have but I used to have, and I really liked, and I don't know why I stopped, a Excel document with this is the name of the character, age, species, whatever is important, and like some notes about what is their relation to the main character and where are they introduced or which chapters are they in and things like that. And also, have I described anything about what they look like? In that case, that's in there too, because I don't remember what people look like. So that's actually a thing I should also do while I am rewriting. Put in everything that I write about each character, so I have it, and so people don't change personality or hair color or anything. So I should write that down. I should do. I'm also including physical descriptions, especially of my MC. I I don't do physical descriptions. I do the bare minimum, again, because I can't visualize. So it's kind of useless, in my opinion. So no one suddenly eats a big bowl of Brussels sprouts after declaring in chapter 1 that they hate them. For example, yes. I've tended to have that. I had that with a character who had a lot of allergies, and then I kept removing and adding what allergies they were, and then suddenly they were eating an apple even though they were allergic to apples 5 chapters ago, and yeah, that was problematic. I have a character list with brief descriptions for all my characters, both appearance and personality. Yeah, that's a good thing to have. And a thing here, I'm gonna check real quick because I believe we'll go to characters. You can't really see this, but I will make it bigger. Until you can. Because World Anvil has like things like this. Like, what is the age? How do the eyes look? Hair, height, weight, and all of that, which is supposed to be when you're characters. When you're here, you're supposed to get the like a brief description where you just hover over the name. You should get like, oh, this is some quick information about height and physical descriptions and all of that. Don't know if it does that for personalities too. I haven't really used this feature yet, but yes, World Anvil. That I've also been really bad at putting things in World Anvil about this world. I don't think I've done that since we had our world building streams, which is not great. So that's something I should do as well. Not part of the rewrite, but if I want to work on this if I want to work on this but not necessarily rewrite or revise things, I can put things in some things into World Anvil. So that's good. Yes. And let's see, if the deadline is end of the year, so about three months, my story is 99 pages, which is pretty fun, about 50,000 words. So I should have gotten 33 pages in by next stream, which is not too bad. That's not so much. I can do that. Where are we at? 33 pages in. Is just after Niam's air trial. That's interesting. That's very slow. But yeah, about 1 page a day. That's not, I can do that. $33 pages, or if I'm just going to do some quick math. I've got about 50,000 words and divide that by 3. That is 16666. Words. Of course, things are going to change, so I'm going to remove or add things, so it's not exact, but as a ballpark. That sounds very manageable in theory, but you're still going to be working on your other projects 2 out of 3 days like you have been. Yes, I'm thinking I will. But in that case, that's still 3 pages-ish per day that I'm working on this, which is more, granted. But I'm also hoping that maybe we'll have some like writing days, me and Matilda together, to like get a chunk done. Yeah, I still think it can be done.
I have it done.
Yay!
What are we talking about? The writing days. I heard that much.
Yes. I concluded that what I'm gonna do is basically just I'm gonna rewrite things in order.
Yeah.
And my document is 99 pages.
Uh-huh.
So if we have 3 months, then I should do 33 pages until next stream.
Cool.
Which is about 1 page a day, or as pointed out, since I'm doing every 3rd day on this project, 3 pages every day I'm working on this project.
Yeah. Doesn't sound that bad.
No, it sounds very
From my
manageable.
perspective, not having to do it. Yeah.
So I feel pretty confident.
Hmm?
And yeah, I'm probably do more than 1 page per revision session. And once I get going, it's hard to stop. So and hopefully I will get into the groove at least a few of these days.
Yeah.
Where instead of doing 3 pages, I'll do
10.
9.
Yeah.
Or 10.
Yeah.
But sometimes, of course, it's hard to get going. Yeah.
Because that is something I'm going to have to figure out too.
Yeah.
For the rest of September and for all of October, I am, except one day, I am not commuting. I am staying here. And then I have the first week of November off from work.
Woohoo!
But I've also not decided if this is my Nano project or if the project I talked about on Thursday in the stream with the safe house is going to be my project or something else. And I will admit, the last month and a bit, every minute of my free time has been spent crocheting. And that will not write a book. Or rewrite a book. Or rewrite the first half of a book even. So I need to figure out how and when and stuff to write.
Yeah.
And also, because I like what you said, Markus, about 1 page a day or 3 pages per dual rule day.
Yeah.
But I think I need to overcome the desire to do everything at once.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably reread it in a weekend if I had no other plans.
Yeah.
Definitely. And make the notes and stuff. But if all I can do is rewrite 1 scene, because that's all I have time and energy to do, that is better than doing 4 scenes. Every little scene counts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like AB's idea of what if you just crocheted a book.
Don't tempt me. Don't give me ideas. But now I want it. Also, my brain went places. I was reminded of, what are they called? There's a company that makes t-shirts and posters and scarves with full manuscripts.
Yeah.
I could not crochet that because you could not read it.
Big scarf.
I was going to abbreviate that. I'm not going to do that.
No.
But ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'll see what I can do. But I thought we were trying to motivate me to actually write.
Well, yes.
Also, Kevin and Laura are doing a motivational experiment of committing to 4 15-minute sprints a day for a week.
Yeah.
I've missed that. I missed that they're doing that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either, but I haven't been watching people's videos in a while, so there's that.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you start.
Sometimes I wonder if I should try experiments that are more endurance than they are
20K in a day.
exactly. Like I'm gonna write for an hour a day. I'm gonna sprint 4 times in a day.
Yeah.
For a month, or for a long period of time. Then get as much as I can done right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I did for a while. I had I had a 20-minute sprint every morning.
Yeah.
And that was really nice.
Yeah.
When I did that.
That worked really well for you.
Yeah.
The flies back.
Yes. But for some reason I stopped, and I've been thinking that I need to start that again.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've been thinking similarly. Until I commute, that's the thing. Until I commute, I'm fairly sure I could write a bit in the mornings before I go to work.
Yeah.
Because the mornings end up just I don't even know what I do with them. Or I leave for work early. And maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I can actually do a 10, 15, 20-minute sprint.
Yeah.
And then maybe that would get me excited about the story, and then it'll be in the back of my mind all day, and then I'll come home and be like, crochet, writing.
Yeah.
Not every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could plan on 28 days of October or something, so you have 3 floating days off. You can use it as you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which works really well with our plans for October, actually.
Yeah.
I know exactly which days I take off. Sadly, they're all back to back, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's also my birthday soon.
Yes. And I agree with Moon. I do think endurance experiments would be a great challenge for you. And yeah.
Personally, I think 15 minutes would be too short. But by the time I get into the groove, time's almost out. I'd rather do one hour sprint. Yeah, but it depends. Because in the mornings, I could basing it off of Lawrence and Kever, Laura and Kevin's thing. 4 15-minute sprints means I could probably get 1 done in the morning at home, and then 1 right when I get home, and then dinner, and then 2 more.
Yeah.
For example, and on a day off, I could probably do, if I felt like it, do all 4 in a row, but with 5-minute breaks in between. I mean, I could also do 3 20-minute sprints or 2 half-hour sprints.
Yeah.
If it's the 1 hour a day of writing, that is the challenge. Why are you smiling? You think I should do it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I also take longer to get into it with revision, except for longer sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think revision is going to be hard for me. I think revision is going to be a challenge for me. Let's put it like that. Because I'm used to trying to get a lot out in a short period of time. And yes, I will write the air trial anew. And maybe if I'm doing a rewrite instead of a edit kind of revision, then I'll get to write, but with a little bit more clarity. And I have been thinking about doing some sort of writing better, faster. I have had a thought of writing. Today I wrote 2 pages. Tomorrow, when I'm writing, first thing I do is I reread those 2 pages and make a few changes. Freshen up a mind of where I was, and then continue. Yeah. And then the day after that, probably not rereading all 4 pages and not until then, but going back a little bit into yesterday or into the previous session. Yeah. Yeah. I am a Libra. Yes. Markus is a Scorpio.
Yes, I'm a Scorpio.
Yes.
I am, I think, just on the cusp of Scorpio.
Yeah, you're fairly early in Scorpio.
Yeah.
I think Libra is until the 21st.
Maybe.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And you are 25th.
Yes, I am.
Libra is until the 22nd, even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who will a Libra marry?
Me.
Apparently a Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aquarius.
Nope.
Did not happen. No.
I think it's awesome to challenge oneself with a writing goal, but definitely make it realistic so one doesn't get overwhelmed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Totally guilty of putting too much on my plate. Well,
Yeah.
you have something in common here.
Hi. Welcome. My new best friend. Yeah. No, I need to work on that.
And I think maybe a time goal instead of a word goal
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah. I think I would still track my words,
Yeah.
but success or failure would mean, did I do 4 15-minute sprints? Yes, success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You okay?
Yeah.
Someone's hammering.
Yes. You could do little weekly update videos if you wanted, rather than vlog and edit the whole month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into videos. I have a fair few ideas. As Marcus would like to remind me, I do have a video planned for every remaining week of the year, starting a while ago.
Starting like August.
Earlier, June.
Okay.
I have, except for 2 weeks that I left empty so I could fill them with whatever, I have a video planned for every week since the 16th of June. Since the 16th of June, I have put up like 3 videos, haven't I?
Maybe something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Yes. Let's see. 16th of June. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh.
That's way too good. Hold on. 16th of June. I said 8.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 15-ish videos is what I should have put up by now. Should have. And I've done 7.
You said 8.
That's 8.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You've done about
5,
half
6.
either way.
I've done half, yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
No.
Yes. I did 3 videos in August. I did none in July. Either way, not important. Writing and videos and stuff.
Yes.
What's the point here? Yes.
With a vision, there will be times when you breeze through the whole section, fire trial, with very few changes very quickly and get thousands of words a day. Yeah. And then times when you agonize over a paragraph for an hour and only get 300 words.
I read Organize a Paragraph.
Yes.
Yeah.
And remember, place out her videos.
No.
Plans
I'm
out
excited
her
about your Pantstober.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Very excited.
Yeah.
I saw someone who put up a pre-Preptober video that was like, you could spend September and October prepping for Nano. And I was like, yes. And the person themselves also said, it's becoming Christmas. Or it's like Christmas that keeps, things for Christmas keep happening earlier and earlier in the year. And that's more of a commitment that I'm willing to make to Nano.
So at some point, there will be...
year round.
I'm thinking like daily videos year round for like from December 1st, we start planning for Nano next year. And then...
Don't give me ideas.
I did
Just
not
do not
mean
give
for
me
that to
ideas.
be an idea. That was an idea for me.
Huh?
That was an idea for me.
Yes. Revision might also be spending an hour trying to figure out how to rearrange 2 scenes to make sense with pacing and plot. Only to realize it was best the way it was. Yep.
Yeah. And Moon is also excited but not very prepared, which I think is perfectly within the spirit of Pantstober, isn't it?
Exactly.
So...
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just as prepared as you need to be.
We're going through the whole manuscript quickly, changing something small.
Mm-hmm.
Do with a certain character all the way through. Yeah.
Right. I also saw, was that Ghost in the Castle who commented when I was gone about...
Character sheets?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. I don't even have one for myself. I don't know what Lib looks like. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't, personally, because you don't do descriptions
No.
or visualization.
No. But I put that as a thing that I'm going to do I'm gonna make.
Yeah, I never got to see this.
Yeah.
This disappeared when I came back.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna rewrite the scenes in order according to the notes I made in the reread.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make character sheets / profiles or notes for each character mentioned, and not like I'm gonna do if I describe that someone has blonde hair. I'm gonna write down blonde hair.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm gonna try to use World Animal for that because
Smart.
it has a pretty decent, some pretty decent functions about that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Looking at this though, I had 3 things I was gonna do.
Yes.
What was the third thing? Make notes, reread, make notes, and remove. Was that it? Was reread one of them?
Maybe.
Moon, help!
And Ghost in the Castle is so excited for Pilmer and Nanowrimo. Even got myself a Nanowrimo sweater. That's awesome.
Congratulations. You haven't ordered the shirt yet, Marcus,
I have not
you?
ordered the shirt yet. I love the design for this year because it's colorful.
Yeah.
It hasn't been colorful in forever.
No.
If it ever has been.
It's been black and grey and navy.
Yeah.
And if you're new here, Marcus is color lover #1.
Yes.
I said reread, delete, and notes. I'm gonna say those were the 3 of them.
Yeah, no, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, reread.
And can make notes and remove swap places. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moon says, make notes, cut things, and add air trial. Right.
Yes.
That's 4 things.
I am so sorry.
I'm doing more than you are. Is this until next time? Is that what we're saying? Or
I mean, my intention was that this is the revision and this is the goal for next stream.
Goal by next stream.
Yes. If you want to have like, where do you want to be at like in a month, you may add that.
I'll think on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Moon is also excited about Nano, but divided. Haven't decided between continuing to draft a project I started last year and starting a new idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm actually going to do for Nano. I had a plan, but I've forgotten what that was.
Was it the superhero one? No. I'll figure it out. You've had so many dreams recently.
I have. I
have actually had 2 dreams that could be turned into stories.
Yes.
I only remember 1.
I am sorry.
It's okay. Moon was thinking of it as a single pass, not rereading first. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm rereading and making notes. Fair enough.
Angle? Is she okay?
Yes, she fell into the trash can.
Oh
no! Did I touch the table? Did I do that? Sorry. Yes. Well, cool. And we should both add more suffering.
Yes.
It's one of our points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Is that what we wanted help with today? Do you want to add anything more? Does anyone have any other revision tips that we haven't gone through yet that you would like to throw at us right now?
You'll have to throw very hard. Yeah. And for me, I feel like we've gone through the things I needed. Do you feel?
I think so. I wish we would have made a little bit more notes when we talked about Lid.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I think with removing the unnecessary side plots, adding in the suffering, adding in the shapeshifters, the air, like I think, I think it will be better.
I'm sure it will be.
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm tired.
Well, you should.
I saw the time and I was like, oh, I can almost leave work now. It's a Saturday and I'm not working today.
Yeah, no.
And if it was a Saturday and I was working, I would have stopped working 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
So more mindset than actual tip. think of it as discovering your revision process. So the whole thing is an experiment. You said a key word there, Moon. You know how much I like those. On future revisions of this or revisions of other projects, you can probably do things differently.
In the meantime, it's possible to go back and rewatch the part where we talk about lead.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. Yes.
You can take what you like best from this and try other things. Don't worry about getting it right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I needed that. Thank you. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about this now than I was when we started today.
I'm glad.
I can also say that I had a big slump before we had lunch.
Yes.
Which I think might have been blood sugar related, partially.
Yes.
But yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Revision is just inching towards better, not making it perfect.
It's a very good point.
You're very wise, Moon.
Yes.
I like it. I appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
Yes.
Okay then. I believe we have gotten to the end of this stream.
Yes. I never set up my other one because I didn't have time.
Cool.
But what did we say? We talked about December. We didn't talk about October. But that should be the 30th.
Yeah, the 30th of October.
Yeah, the 30th of October, noon UTC will be on my channel
Yes.
for the next check-in. So that is just 2 days before Nano starts. But we do have 5 Saturdays in October. So that's nice,
Yes.
I guess. And I really liked how, was it April or February? One of them, the start on the first of the month was a Monday.
Mhm.
That's November as well. Yeah, it was February because it ran from a Monday through a Sunday.
Yeah.
Sadly, November does not. That's 30 days. Either way.
Yes. Moon showed her mom, who loves weather and fiber arts, a screenshot of you holding the blanket, and she loved it.
Thank you. It's a really, really fun project. It takes up a lot of my time because I'm not super fast, but it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it to people who like fiber arts.
Cool.
Yeah. You can also make it with knitting and stuff. Probably embroidery.
Probably.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who has been here and helped us come up with things.
You're welcome.
Yes. And again, 30th of October is the next check-in stream.
Yes.
We also, of course, have our next Thursday stream on Thursday on Matilda's channel. And yeah.
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 And good luck on your goals. I'm looking forward to your writing updates. Tip, ignore perfectionism.
Very good tip. Yeah.
I'll work on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Stay safe. Be good. Take
Have
care.
fun.
Take care. That's the Bye.
Bye.